Hey, this is Skip. Welcome to Hammer Wrench Renovation. Today's project: take this raggedy pantry down after build a pantry in this old laundry closet. Let me give you a closer look and we'll get started. So this is the old laundry closet in the home we've bought that we're going to turn into a pantry. Now this is our mock-up of what it's going to look like. So we're going to have our trash can in here, and we're going to have a countertop that runs at about 3 foot high. That way, if we want to prep anything for cooking, we've got a countertop width and depth here, and we're going to have a bottom shelf, a mid shelf, and then we're going to have 2 upper shelves that actually are in a U shape, and that way we can put our canned goods and all. After that's complete, then I'll work on putting up a door system to cover it. So with this space being 64 inches wide, 29 inches deep, and at the center up there 7 foot high, it's going to give us plenty of room to store stuff that can't go in the kitchen. Now this is the space that is currently used as the pantry, and it was actually built out. So the previous owners, and see, it doesn't go all the way to the ceiling, but the previous owners actually took the island and cut the end of the island off. So now we just have this door with no shelves in it. I don't know if they used it for a trash can or what, but you can see the countertop, they kind of just built this on, and the countertop actually goes around the back. We don't care for it. When the refrigerator was here where the trash can is, it came out to about there. So good luck if you were getting anything out of it and someone needed to walk past you. So we're going to open this up after the pantry is built. I'm going to just tear this out and hopefully replace this base cabinet here with something that functions better and definitely looks better. Countertop will go away. It'll be butcher block. It will actually match the butcher block that's going to go in the pantry right down here. And as far as this green, yeah, I can't stand it either. The cabinets will get painted, if not replaced. So it's time to start some measuring and get it mocked up for the parts that the shelves are going to sit on. So I'm going up 36.5 inches. That's the height of the bottom of the countertops in the kitchen. And so that's what I'm basing this on as well. That way the trash can lid can open. Not all the way, but pretty close. So I'm going to be putting 2x2s Once I get all the 2x2s put up, the shelves and the countertop should just set in. So it's going to be 2x2s here at this 36.5, and then will be piece of plywood that's actually the support here. It's going to give a pocket for the trash can that'll go there. And there will also be 2x2s that come across to make the two bottom shelves for them to sit on, and it's just going to be 1x12s that's set in there and create the shelf. Now for the upper shelves, we're going to have black pipe brackets that will fasten to the wall, and the 12-inch wide or 12-inch deep boards will sit on top of those, making that U shape. And so there'll be two of those shelves evenly spaced. Right now there's an exhaust fan right up here, since this was a laundry area and it would take out the heat from the dryer and any bleach smell from the washer. I'm going to convert that into a light, so that way the pantry is lit up, and we already have a switch over there on the wall. So I've got 36.5 marked out, and so now I need to go ahead and mark the bottoms, find the studs. So we've got this piece here to deal with, and that is a piece of drywall. It's actually covering up the access down there to the laundry pipe, P-trap where it goes down on the bottom. I think I'm going to remove this, and I may just put a piece to cover the hole down there, because this is a bit excessive for it to be a 2x2, and the hole down there looks like a foot high and maybe a 1.5 feet wide. So I will be modifying that as well. It's got to be some of the thinnest drywall I've ever seen, but I guess that's standard when they're building this type of house and they've got to move it, not overweight. So I'll just patch a piece in here before everything's finished, and then after the 2x2s are up, then I'll paint this area, and that way the 2x2 bracings that go around are also white, and then the shelves, which are wood, will just set on them, and then the butcher block will be stained and sealed. Seal up this drain pipe here, and I'll actually close that in as well, since we won't be using that as a washer hookup anymore. Right now I'm going to tape up the top of this pipe, then I'm going to close in these holes. 9" square. Not a perfect square. I think I can make it work. So I forgot to move the camera, so I won't know if you saw any of this until I review and edit. Well, what I did is I put these pieces of 2x2 in the wall at angles. There's various ways you can do it. This is the way I chose. And then I cut this piece here, and it was just a little big, and so I just traced the wall and cut out where my line was, and it fits right in, and then I put screws in. So now that's there, and so when I come back and mud and tape, that's all I gotta do. So now, onto the brace for the countertop. Now these side walls here, I think only have one stud available, right in the center, in which I can make that work. Now, this one I think has a stud in the corner, but over here I don't think does. I pushed in with my pick tool. That's when I was stabbing the wall earlier to see where the studs were, and could not find one there, and only had one here between the light switches and not one there, because there's this ugly piece of unsanded 2x4 that they created this door frame out of. So what I'm going to do is just use this one stud for support, but I took the back piece and I shortened the sides 1.5 inches to accommodate for the 2x2, and I ran screws in it. So it's going to have a center support point, and it's going to have a support point at the wall because it's screwed through here instead of them being separate. So now it's just time to hang it up. Alright, so now we've got the closest one here, 36.5. And I'm going to go ahead and put one screw in the wall. So that's going to be enough to support it. Now I'm going to put the oldest level that I own on top of there, so I can adjust the level and zip screws in the wall. Okay, now it's up. Now, if you're looking close, you'll see these arms aren't real straight. Well, it's because good luck finding a 2x2 that isn't twisted. So, I just had to put it together and get the ends flush, even though it's twisted, and now I can twist it into place. So, whatever it is that makes it level, that's where I'll zip a screw in on where the stud is in the wall. Need my collar bit, so it will hold these screws. Who knows where that is? Probably in a box. Alright, that went in and it worked. So there we are. Got support. Anchored in 5 points. Now it's going to have a piece of plywood here to make a T, so that will give it support there. But that piece of butcher block sitting right on there. Now I can go ahead and measure out where I want the bottom 2 shelves, and then I'll cut some wood to close in that hole down there. And we can put supports up. Now these supports, depending on, I've got to measure out where this piece is going. I'm going to have a support on one wall, and then on this vertical here, this piece of plywood, it'll actually have the other 2x2s on it, because it's just pieces of 1x12 that's going to sit in it to make 2 shelves. So that's how I'm planning on doing that. So welcome to the garage. I'm going to catch you up to what I've done while the camera was turned off. So this here is the plywood that's going to stand up vertical, and it's going to create the shelf edge, and then the other side is where the trash can is going to be, and I have notched it here for the 2x2 that's going along the wall, so it'll sit right up in there. So I've got the lines marked where the shelves are going to be. And so what I'll do is I will go ahead and pre-drill the holes that's going to hold these in. And then I can take it in and just set it in place. And then I will put these on the wall, and it'll be ready for the planks that are going to create the shelves. Now they're 1x12s, but they're only 11.5 wide. So these aren't a full 24. These are actually 23, I believe. So they won't come all the way to the end here. This is being 24 wide. The actual countertop is 26, so there's going to be just a little overhang. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill these holes. And then I'm going to screw in these parts that hold the shelves. two on the wall. Alright, so what I'm about to do now is close up this other hole here. Sorry if I'm right in your way. Sometimes it feels like that. Alright, that one's roughly a 15, about 15. Got it. Finally. Alright. I believe that trash can is 20 inches wide. I'm going to grab it, stick it in here. what's level before on the wall. It's a combination of the two. So, all right. Here's what I'm going to do is attach this piece to this board, and then I can pull it up to whatever level. And this is about how much room it is. Well, hello. Anybody seen my pencil? Found it. So that's up. I will add a piece to the bottom so it's not wiggly. It'll actually be able to hold the weight better than all the weight being right here. But that's got it level with the board going across. So all I got to do now is put those two pieces in this side over here. You ever have issues with something? And turns out there's a reason, there's an issue. It's because whatever you're doing is in the wrong spot. It gets frustrated and it's kind of just like, hey, pay attention. You're doing it wrong. Yeah. That was just happening here. Alright, so here's your up close. Bottom shelf, mid shelf, countertop height. Countertop is going to sit right on top of this piece here. There's the mid shelf, bottom shelf, and that's where the rest of the countertop will sit. Give the trash can its own little spot. Alright, I'll be back tomorrow to work on it some more. It's the next day. I'm back. I'm going to go ahead and mud up these seams. I took all that trim off. Because all they do when they put this trim up is cover the gaps so they don't have to mud anything. So I'm going to mud all that and these patches I put in. And I already have the parts built. It's going to hang the brackets for the top shelves. And I'll show you those when we get to it. Also can't find my putty knife right now, so I'm improvising. And this might not be the proper way, but if it works, it works. I'm trying to earn my Packsmith badge. I guess this is the way to do it. I mean, it's a pantry, so see what it looked like before I started? I mean, there's the right way, and then there's the good enough way. Sometimes I do both. Leaning more towards good enough right now. And that's good enough for me. Well, I'm going to let it dry. Come back and see how good or how bad of a hack I am at putting on mud with a Bondo tool. Alright, I'm putting in boards, testing the fitment of the bottom two shelves. There they are. It's 41 inches wide. The two boards combined are 23 deep. Not sure what the gap between is. right at 16, and then the top will be 15 and a half. So that should fit most large appliances that you use on the counter. You could get under there, store out of the way. So I'm still waiting on the mud to dry, so nothing will be permanent. They also have to be stained, and then all the framing's got to be painted. And up top, I'm going to wait to put those two U-channel frames up there. That's going to hold our black piping. That's going to hold it on the wall, kind of an industrial look. So I'm going out to cut butcher block. This is my 24-inch by 8 foot. It's already got a bull nose routed on the front. 63 and a half. That's how much we're going to cut. Just discovered why all of my cuts are not square, because the deck is not square. So 0 degrees doesn't always mean 0 degrees. So if you don't have sawhorses, moving containers, pretty decent sawhorses. Especially these long ones here, where they have these notches, and the wood will sit right in there. All right, I'm gonna take it in. what you think. I think it's going to look real nice after it's stained. And get the top shelves up there. So unfortunately, I don't look at the camera all the time to make sure where it's pointing, and so for the last 20 minutes while I put up these here, the camera was staring at the bottom. I'm sorry about that. So I have put these up into studs. I built this frame for the same reason I did the bottom. There's only one stud accessible on this wall and on the other wall. The back has 3 studs. Now I could not put screws through here because there's a plate blocking it. So it must have water or electricity running through there. That's fine. I did throw one through the corner here into this corner stud, and so that will be sufficient. Now, what we're using to hang these shelves are these 12-inch black pipe hangers. They're going to go like that, and they're going to go like that, so we can set our canned goods up. Now these are only going to be a foot wide. A foot here. I'm going to fill the middle, and then there'll be one here. These here, got them off of Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. So we are an affiliate with Amazon. So if you do decide to order, use our link, we will get a little kickback. And if you do that, we certainly appreciate it. So now I'm going to measure out where I want the boards, and so when I figure out where I want the boards, then I'll figure out where these need to go, and I'll mount these straight into the wood. These will probably have to come down again because this is going to get painted, this is going to get sanded, but at least the holes will already be there, so it'll be quick mounting. Now these boards that are going to get put up are the same as the bottom there. They're 11.5 inches deep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a board this way, and it's going to butt up here. Same thing on the other side, and then I will fill in the middle. What I'm worried about is if I run one solid across this way, that it's going to come out to here, and it will only leave a foot of shelf there, and that may be easier to knock off, especially since it's only that big, sitting on 2 pipes. So this is how I'm going to do it. Measure again, since I don't want these overhanging the top. They're actually going to have to get centered, which will put the board starting at the flange, so I'm actually going to push it in this way a little more than I thought, which is fine. I just need to make sure that they're centered evenly. Good morning. Had a little bit of a delay with some other things that come up, but we're back on it. So I sat here and ran my tape, and I think originally I had decided to run the boards longer ways and then have a shorter middle, but the length that these stick out, I don't want them running into the board that's going to go along the back of the wall. So I have changed up my original plan, and this board here is going to run side to side, and then I will just fill in here. And so I have marked up the wall
where these will go evenly. There will be 3. And where these stick out, the board that's going to be here for this shelf will not run into that, but I will have to run these 2 here to hold the small piece. It's not exactly what I want, but I think this is going to work. And if I decide to not put the side shelves on because there's plenty of back shelf, then I can opt out of that at that time. So before I sand down my mud and paint this wall, I'm going to go ahead and drill out these holes. And then I'm going to prep the wall and paint it before I put any hardware up. So I have to take all of this out of here so I don't get paint on any of the new wood. So I'm patching up a few spots that didn't have great coverage with the mud. So that'll delay my paint work for just a bit. See how long it takes this one to dry. "41 seconds. Hacksmith certified." Alright, paint is dry. Let's put a little more on the wall. Alright, so I got second coat rolled on. Amazing what a difference it is after that first brush coat, kind of like the primer coat. I knew the wood would soak it up. and some of the drywall that was unpainted, just that original surface. And so it looks much better with the rolled on second. Now I got to take the brush and get all of these edges here, get those cut in, and then it should be good to go.
All right, so it's time. Let's put these hangers up. Now I'm going to load the counter back in and these shelves, and then I will put these shelves in here. So there it is. I'll give you a show. Pipe hangers holding up the top shelf. It's 11.5 inches deep. It's 26 inch deep countertop. And those are 23-inch deep bottom shelves. And the pocket right there will hold the trash can. Now these will not be stained until we do the rest of the house, because we're doing the kitchen counters. But here you get to see the pantry project, that if you have So this is the pantry project. This used to be the old washer and dryer enclosure. That's right off of the kitchen here. So now it's going to be a decent sized pantry. I don't know if I'm going to add the extra pieces here or not, because they're going to bring it in to about right there on both sides. This is a great extra space for large goods or prep for the kitchen or anything. Coffee bar, I mean, with an outlet right there. So definitely has potential to be many things. And the supplies to build this, the lumber was I think $180. These pipe hangers, you could get 12. Now you can get 8 of them for 40 off of Amazon. And I'll put the link down in the description. And then this butcher block countertop here came from Storehouse Salvage, which is a few miles from here. And they sell it. It's 1 inch thick, and it was 8 feet long. And they also have 3 foot by 8 foot lengths, so you can do an island. So I have 3 more slabs to do the rest of the kitchen out in the garage. So it's taken. I started on it. So I worked today, and then I worked on it. I believe some yesterday. If you worked on it nonstop, probably 2 days you could do it, and that would include, you know, your drywall mud drying, painting, letting that dry, and then putting everything together. If you stain everything ahead of time, the job goes faster. We just haven't picked out the stain and haven't bought the sealant here for the butcher block. So, hope you've enjoyed watching it. This isn't a hard build. Any of you can do it. I basically use 2x2 studs, a piece of plywood here, these 3/4 inch black pipe hangers that go on the wall. These are 1x12s. It's just screwing boards to the wall, cutting boards, and laying them on it. So I appreciate you watching. Thank you for being a subscriber, and if you haven't, please consider. We've got a lot of home renovation coming, and with the amount of stuff we have to do, it's definitely a situation to where if a wrench doesn't work, use a hammer. Take care.